Don't buy a new amp sim. I'm going to show you these 6 steps that you can use to get the best pop punk or rock tone from what you already have. Step 1. You've already double tracked your rhythm parts, right? Good. So here is one take, here is the other take, and we're going to turn that into a stereo file, pan 1 left, pan 1 right, and then in Logic we can right click, join, stereo. And trust me, it's way more fun to run this through an amp sim and dial it in from there. So now we have a stereo guitar DI, and it's time for step 2. So before the amp sim, run this clean DI through a tube screamer or saturation pedal. Logic has a great one, which is the vintage drive. Turn the drive off, slightly brighten the tone. And this is going to take care of the low mids, stop it from being muddy, and give it some cool character. Other choices are this free one from Mercurial, or if your amp sim comes with one, like this green overdrive one here, you can use that. And it'll make your DI sound like this. It's important to know that we're not using this as a distortion pedal. Step 3. It's now time for the amp sim. So load up a stereo instance of your favorite one and bring the gain way down. Now stay with me here. This seems counterintuitive, but you are running 2 tracks through the amp, so the gain is effectively twice as crazy. So we're going to listen for a sweet spot, which is, in my opinion, where you still have an exciting tone, but you can clearly hear the chords and the notes. You want a slinky, defined sound with a decent amount of grip. Let's dial this in. That's too little gain, obviously. That's too much gain, it's just fizz and noise, and you can't hear the chords and notes that are being played. Now that sounds like a good sweet spot to me. Next, we're going to whack up the bass, but don't worry, we're going to EQ this in the next step. Now we're going to take the mids knob and push it up until you start to hear some mid-range presence from the amp. Hopefully you heard it push forward when the mids were increased. Now this step won't work if you have A, too much gain, and B, your guitars aren't perfectly in tune. And now we can very slightly nudge the treble knob forward, but be careful as we are going to carve out the EQ in the next step. Just quickly, if you make music like this and you need me to mix your next release, then head over to my website, terrybeckleyrecording.com, and get in touch with me via the contact form. I will get back to you. Let's take this tone to the next level with some EQ. So first off, the classics. A high pass filter with a gradual slope, and roll this up until the rumble starts to get cleaned up, but we don't want to kill the bottom end and the power of the tone. Listen to how this rumble and low-end mess comes back when I bypass that filter. It focuses your ears where the power and low end of the guitar should be. And remember, the bass will extend into these lower frequencies, so this filter helps the bass and guitars gel together. Now we'll grab a low-pass filter with a bit of a stronger slope. We just want to kill the hiss that really seems to exist in digital amps and amp sims, and not actually take off any of that bite that we want from the tone. Cool, so you shouldn't hear any of the nice presence and bite disappear when that filter's in. You're just taking the edge off. Now, most importantly, we did a big mid-range boost on the amp, and it's not going to sit nice until we carve out the bad bits of that boost. So let's go hunting for those. Now, when I bypass those two EQ cuts, you should hear the sound of like a windy hallway sort of suddenly come back into the guitars, and we don't want that, which is why I've killed it. So that really tightens up those mids, and we still get that mid presence from the guitars. And now we're going to finish this off by finding those painful resonant frequencies in the 2 to 4 kilohertz area. That's 2K taken care of. Now we'll look for one between 3 and 4. Awesome. Now let's bypass this EQ and see if we've made it better. Perfect. We've kept the character of the tone, but we've cleaned it up and got a focused sound. We've got the bits we want, and we've reduced the bits that are muddying it up and messing it up and losing its clarity. So now for the final step, we're going to inject some magic into this and really open up the guitars with a high shelf of some kind. You never really know which kind of shelf is going to work, but I have my go-to 3 that I always try. So first off, we're going to go with an 8K boost on this SSL channel from Waves. Now, I don't need much with this one. It's opened them up. Let's hear it off and on. A bit fizzy, but it's kind of cool. And let's try my second one, which is the Mag EQ4 from Plugin Alliance, specifically the Air band here. So we'll set it to 40, and then we'll try out 20 as well. Now that's nice. It hasn't got the fizz from the last one, but it has opened it up. Let's hear it off and on. I like that. Let's try it at 20. Yeah, that sounds cool. And now for the third one, we'll try this Revival from Slate Digital, and we'll only touch the shimmer knob. And that's cool, but I think my favorite is the Mag EQ4. I have plenty of other videos on getting pop punk tones out of different amp sims, so have a look on my channel, as there may be some stuff there that will be valuable to you. There's also videos on mixing everything in pop punk, so be sure to check those out too. Until next time, I'll see you at the next one.